Hello everyone, today we're going to look at 3 new words. These words are handful, mouthful and earful. I think these words could be handy in your everyday conversations, and these 3 words can be used in a literal but also in a metaphorical way. So let's take a look. So let's start with the word handful. So in a literal sense, the word handful means something that can be managed in our hand. It is a handful. Okay, so something that literally can be held in our hand. For example, he grabbed a handful of nuts from the bowl. Or she took a handful of sand from the beach and let it fall through her fingers. So a handful, an amount that can be held in one hand. In a metaphorical sense, we can use the word handful to describe someone or something that is difficult, challenging, or too much to manage. So maybe it gets a little bit out of control. For example, the energetic children were a handful for the teacher. Or it is a handful trying to balance a job and studying at the same time. So we can use it to refer to something that is challenging or a little bit too much than we can cope with. So that's handful. Let's go to the next one. So now let's look at the word mouthful. In literal terms, the word mouthful refers to the total amount of food or drink that we can put into our mouths at any one time. So the amount of food we can fill our mouths with, literally. So let's look at some examples. He took a big mouthful of soup and burnt his tongue. Or, the cake was so delicious she couldn't resist having another mouthful. And then in metaphorical terms, the word mouthful refers to something that is very difficult or challenging to pronounce or to express, or that is difficult to understand. So this could be a very useful term when you are learning a second language. Some examples. Learning business English can be quite a mouthful. Or reading Shakespeare in the old language can be quite a mouthful. And finally, let's have a look at the word earful. So in a literal sense, the word earful refers to a large amount of noise or sound that enters our ear, something that is really loud, maybe almost deafening. So for example, she went to the concert and had an earful of music. Or the explosion was so loud that everybody in the city got an earful. And in a metaphorical way, the term earful refers to when somebody receives a complaint or an intense scolding or a large amount of criticism. Okay, so it's quite a fun one to use. So for example, the teenager got an earful from her parents for coming home late. Or the employee received an earful from his boss for not meeting the deadline. So again, in a metaphorical way, an earful means a large amount of criticism or a complaint or a telling off from your parents. So I hope those words are helpful for you. Try to incorporate them into your everyday conversation, and I hope it's not too much of a mouthful for you. I'll see you next time. Bye.